Happy Thursday, co-creators, and welcome to another edition of Teena Sessions, 365 inspirational quotes with me, your life coach, Teena Jones. Well, how's everyone doing on this lovely Thursday afternoon? Hope your day is going well. Hope it went well. Just depending upon what time you listen to Teena Sessions. Whether you're new or you're one of my loyal viewers, I want to thank each and every one of you for choosing to spend this time with me. We're on day 88, and I'm so happy and delighted to kick off a wonderful quote by my favorite author, Wayne Dyer. And it is, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. Love that quote. I'm going to repeat it, it's so good. When you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at will change. Ooh, that's a classic Wayne Dyer quote. And so, in light of Thursday, we talk about money every Thursday. And so, this Thursday is no different. In particular, we're going to talk about tuning into abundance, okay? Tuning into abundance. Abundance is not something that you manufacture, it's something that you align with, okay? And so, I'm going to give you a few things that you can start doing today, this moment, so you can tune yourself into the vibration of abundance. Many of you out there still have scarcity thoughts, scarcity thinking when it comes to money and when it comes to your value and when it comes to your importance of money and your deserving, quote unquote, of money. Years ago, I remember reading another one of my favorite authors' books, Marianne Williamson, and she talked about how this lady was so gifted at writing. And she showed one of her pieces that she had written to a group of people. They were all out to dinner, and she showed it to Marianne first. And then another guy that was at the table, he looked over and he was a scholar. And he told her, there's no way, that you're going to get published. I mean, you don't have a college degree. You have not written anything in any publication, no national, nothing local. And so how do you think you're going to get published by a major, publishing house with, not the right pedigree, if you will? And Marianne talked about how she just wanted to cover the lady's ears up. She didn't want the limits to be put on her. Oftentimes that came from someone else, but oftentimes we battle with that ourselves. We battle and tell ourselves, well, there's no way that I can make this kind of money or that kind of money based upon certain limitations. Either I didn't finish high school, I didn't finish college, or I don't have the right network of people. Many people love to hang their hat on that. They love to use that as an excuse. What I'm here to tell you, that once you get in alignment with the universe, that's all the network you need. All you need is God. All you need is the universe. And God works out everything else. When you make up in your mind that this is what you want to do and you set the goal, you close your eyes and you visualize what it is that you want to make. Don't allow the ego to come and go, how are you going to do that? There's no way you're going to do that. It's impossible. You can't do that. It was said to me when I started my first business, and I hadn't been in business long. I think at the time I was 23 years old. And my husband at the time, he had no business experience. And I remember they wanted a business plan where we was, looking for money. So we went to a bank, and everyone told us that's the last thing you need to do. You have no track record, and you haven't made enough money in your business to get a loan from a bank. You don't have good credit. You don't have established credit. We heard all of that. And during that time, it was when I first was introduced to the law of attraction. So I was young, fresh, and on fire, right? I was learning all this information that your thoughts are things, that what you think about and what you impress your mind with, you will get. It will show up in your world. And so I was fired up about that. I mean, my God, I had never heard anything like it before. And so here I am, young at the time. I had learned about the principles probably when I was 21 or 22. So by the time I was 23, we were shopping around for money. And we heard all of those quote unquote facts. The people that say you just got to face reality. It is what it is. The man is not going to let you have any money. All of those hangups and all of those limitations that they were throwing at us. And so when I tell you that we didn't just get one loan, we got two loans, and they both were six-figure loans. One was for 100,000, one was for $160,000. This was back in 93, 94, when all the people said it couldn't happen. And at that time, they were charging, I believe, like $700, $1,000 just to do a business plan. Well, my ex-husband, he decided, well, we can't afford to pay somebody that. For those of you that don't know what a business plan is, it's a proposal you put together that the bank wants to see projections, 3-year projection, 5-year projections of how your business is going to do so that they can see if they're going to lend you some money. Just because you have a business plan doesn't mean you're going to get the money. Okay. It's just part of the prerequisite, okay, of getting money from an established bank or angel investor or some type of private fund investors. Oftentimes they want a business plan. So at any rate, he did it, and that business plan is a business plan that helped us get that money. But I tell you, I know it was the universe that rearranged all of the people that we had to meet to put us in the right place at the right time, to meet the people that we needed to meet in order to get the financing. And that's what I'm telling you. If you have limits and you have put limitations on yourself, stop it. Don't do that. Don't fall into that trap of like that guy did in the story that I told you. Well, you don't have this and you don't have that. You have all that you need, and that is the entire universe on your side. And when you make up in your mind and you start setting the vision of what it is that you want, the universe, it will conspire on your behalf. You see, the fight is already fixed in your favor, but you've got to show up and you've got to impress upon it what it is that you want. So if you set small goals, oh, I only want to make whatever that is a year. I want you to set something where your mind begins to say, there's no way I can make that. Just so you can see how powerful you are and how powerful the universe is. It's time that you take the limits off of God. It's time that you take the limits off your imagination. It's time that you take the limits off of you. You see, if you go to God with a thimble, then you'll get a thimble full. But if you go with buckets and if you go, with I mean wide shovels and wide buckets and go to the ocean of the universe with that type of request, you will get it because there is no limit with God. See, that's the good news. There is no limit. So I'm going to share with you 3 wonderful principles to help you tune in and so that you can go from scarcity thinking to abundance. Okay? First, what do you think you are worth? Period. What do you think you are worth? Whatever income you are making right now, that's what you think you're worth. Now, there's nothing wrong with it. I want you to be happy where you are. But if you want more, don't say, I wish I made more money, or I wish I had more money in the bank, or I wish I had this kind of savings account. Because if you truly wanted it, you can get it. Don't set yourself up by saying, well, I can't do it because of A, B, C, and D. Don't do that to yourself. If you have that, if you've written down reasons, well, the reason why I don't have whatever amount in the bank, and write those things down and then tear it up because it doesn't make sense. It's null and void. We're going to cancel it out. None of that is important. It's time to take those limits. Those have been your limits. If you have written down, this is why I don't have whatever the amount you think you want, and then don't get set up with this, well, I don't want much. I've heard people say that. Well, I just want just enough to not just get by, but if I just want to go to dinner sometime. Come on now. You know, it's like, think about it like this. People are so afraid of abundance and having abundance because of their own hang-ups of what people may think of them and what they think of themselves. And so it's a love-hate relationship when it comes to money. We know we need it, because that's how you pay for the roof over your head. That's how you pay for the clothes on your back. That's how you pay for food. That's how you pay to get back and forth in your car and that sort of thing there. But at the same time, we have this, it's like we shouldn't pray for anything like that, you know. And so, God is abundant and we should come to him with an abundant attitude. All right. Whenever you see someone that's sick, You don't feel bad that you're healthy. Do you? Do you feel bad? Oh, I wish I wasn't healthy. I wish I wasn't as healthy because you're sick. Do you realize no matter how healthy you are, you can't make anyone else healthy? No matter how sick they are, you can't give your health away. You understand that? So you should never feel bad about the money. You shouldn't feel bad. Well, I really don't want much because there are people that are worse off than me. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Each time you do that, you're nicking away at what God has for you. And you are the reason that you're not getting the manifestations that you are seeking. Fall in love with abundance. The lust is the lust, and that you begin to think you have to do anything for it. That is the rub, or is that the negativity in it? But God is not that way. If you had abundance, you could do wonderful things to serve this world. And so I want you to begin to fall in love with abundance, fall in love with having it. It's currency. It's supposed to move around, give it air and breathe and all that kind of good stuff. So the first thing is, what are you worth? What do you think you're worth? Second, what do you think you deserve? That's very important. What do you think you deserve? Whatever income you have, whatever you have in the bank right now, that's what you think you deserve. I'm not telling you that so you can feel bad. I'm telling you that so you can change it in your mind's eye first. Change. Start seeing yourself making that kind of money. You've got to get that way on the inside first, because that's the only where real change occurs. Real change happens internally. Then you start seeing the outward manifestation of that, you see. And so you've got to tune yourself into it internally first. You've got to see yourself in your mind's eye making that income, having that amount of money sitting in your bank account, in your savings account, having an IRA account, in retirement fund, and all the mutual and stocks and bonds and all that kind of good stuff. And so you've got to see it. And you've got to see it in your mind's eye before it manifests. That's where it starts. And any kind of hangups of, well, I don't have this and I don't have that, get rid of that list. Cancel it out, because those are the things that has been blocking you from your blessings. And finally, what do you think is available to you? What do you think is available to you? Do you think that you have abundance open to you, wide open? Or do you think you're limited, that there's not a lot to go around, that you got to skip and scrape and rob Peter to pay Paul? Those kind of beliefs are once again blocking you from your blessings. If you have a vibrational wealth, a spiritual wealth that is wanting to come to you, but you're not a match to it, you believe that there's not enough to go around, you believe in scarcity. Well, your money is here and you're down here. You see? So at some point you got to bring those two together. And the money's always going to be here. The abundance is always going to be high. Okay? And so that scarcity thinking, you've got to get rid of it. And then once you get rid of it, quite naturally, law of attraction, it'll rise you up because you got rid of that burden of scarcity thinking. That's what I want you to get rid of. The scarcity thoughts that you don't have enough, that there's not enough in this universe to serve you and to give you what you want. I don't care what the limitations has been for you. They no longer have to be that way for you, especially in 2017. So begin today to change your mind. Start having new thoughts. Get a big amount, whatever you consider big in your mind that you want to make. If you make $50,000 right now, I would say double it. Start seeing $100,000 coming to you, that you make that every year. Feel that in your bones. How do you walk? How do you talk? Where do you live? How do you dress? All those things, all those components are so important for you to start seeing and adopting in your mind so that it can show up in your world. All right? How does that sound? If you have any questions about today's Teena sessions or any of the previous sessions that you may have heard, email me at naturalborncoach@hotmail.com. And the affirmation is, I deserve it all. You definitely do. All right. It's time for the guided meditation. Excuse me. So go ahead and get yourself all relaxed. Close your eyes. If you need to put on your headphones, go ahead and do that while I set the music. And if your eyes are closed, take a nice deep breath all the way in. Release, relax, and let go. Once again, take a nice deep breath all the way in. Release, relax, and let go. I deserve it all. God is abundant and He is blessing me now. All the limits that I've had in the past are now washed away. I have a new way of thinking about money. I am wealthy, I am successful, and I'm living the good life. The entire universe is on my side, and it wants to shower blessings upon me. Knowing this, I have my arms wide open, ready to receive the abundance that the universe has in store for me. I am ready, I am thankful, and so it is. Thank you all. I love each and every one of you. Have a great, great, great evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.